happy belated birthday to Christian. Hope y'all sent him some love on Twitter, like I asked y'all. What's going on, Christian? What we got for Q's with P, my guy?
Thank you for the birthday wishes and the love on Twitter to you and to the fans of the show. First question comes from Geeked SA, who says, NBA Cup, personally, I love it, and it's come a long way from the in-season tournament days, which, I mean, we just started. But I've been thinking, what if the NBA Cup winners also win a wild lottery pick with 8% fixed odds? How do you think this could affect the league, fans, teams? Do you like this idea of the winner of the NBA Cup getting into the lottery?
Shout out to him for having the progressive mindset. I have no problem with trying to progress and think of new ideas because we're such in a traditional game that it's hard to think of new things. I don't like this because I don't think winning should equate an ability to get higher draft odds. I think it goes against the grain. Winning puts you at the least odds because it shows that you need the least amount of talent added. So instead of doing that, I can play on top of his idea by saying maybe you get some type of cap relief. If you're a second apron team, you can save this amount of money. If you're first apron team, whatever. But maybe I think a cap would help because it's not a guarantee. But like the Knicks I wouldn't even want that. If I had a son that was going to be in this draft, why would I want him to go to a team? Why would I want a team like the Knicks who are winning to have a better chance of getting him? Because then it's you know what I mean? Like, that's the same reason we don't want OKC to win the lottery. It's the same reason we don't want these good teams to be in the lottery, because it's like the rich kind of get richer. And as an overall NBA fan, I need one of those teams that are lacking to have a better opportunity to acquire talent. Because the Knicks are going to Giannis Antetokounmpo. We don't even have enough package to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, but we're linked to him because we're the Knicks. It's a big market team. You know what I mean? So if you can get Giannis, you don't need any other help in a lottery unless you're actually losing games. That's just my opinion.
But they could sweeten that Giannis. It's like you just add an asset to the season.
Yeah, but then we would just continue to get better and better because next year with Giannis, we would have a better chance of winning the cup. So then we could just keep sweetening it up to get better and better, and then the Wizards will never have a chance to win the cup. Even if the Wizards try their hardest, they wouldn't be able to beat OKC and us if we got Giannis. So it just creates this unfair situation. So instead of the draft pick, good idea, just wrong direction. Give us cap relief.
I think you're onto something with the cap relief. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Next question from Noah Smith. Noah asks, what is the most memorable Christmas Day performance of your time watching hoops?
My most memorable, that's a great question. I don't want to cop out. That Wemby performance last year caught me off guard because, my goodness, first Christmas, he just made a lot of plays. Other than that, the Derrick Rose float shot over the Lakers, which I think was game one because it was the lockout year and game one was on Christmas Day. To me, that was just crazy. That peak Derrick Rose Bulls stuff. And the audacity of him to take that shot over all it. If you watch the shot, it's just a beautiful float touch, 1 in a million shot. And I'll never forget that. I love that game.
For me, real quick, that Cavs Warriors 2016 Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Kyrie Irving spin around shot on Clay. Yeah. Great game. Great. That's a good pool, Christian.
Thank you. So next question comes from Tony. He wrote a whole thing. I'm sorry, Tony, we don't have time for it. I did read it. Essentially, he wants to know, what do you think the problem is with the Cavs?
I think number one is the health, which unfortunately is an excuse for anybody. Everybody's kind of banged up and is to deal with the injury bug at some point. But I think there's also a lack of toughness. They're just a cool-ass team, but they don't really have a dog. And I hate saying that, right, because what does that even mean? But they don't have a Josh Hart. They don't have a Lou Dort. They don't have a Beef Stew. And I think their game shows that. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, they've kind of run out of time here. And so a lot of the stuff that was going and working for them this year hasn't. You know, they're missing Ty Jerome a bunch. And, yeah, I mean, to me, that's pretty much it because the guys are talented. It's just something is missing there. And it feels like some of that dog. It feels like a voice in the locker room. And it feels like maybe a punch off the bench or so. But it's a long season. And there's still room to turn their season around. They just have to look at it and go game by game instead of looking too far.
This is an interesting one from Kai. So basically, he says, there are some 3-and-D players that I know can shoot it, but I feel like they never make a shot when I'm watching. This is definitely exaggerated, but as someone who watches the game more and more in depth, do you have any players that fit this mold that you just feel like they're a 3-point shooter that when you're watching, they just never hit it?
Lou Dort. Even last year, Lou Dort shot 40%, but I remember feeling like, Lou Dort shoot 40%? Does he really shoot 40%? And like I remember that being my question all last year for the Thunder. Like when they got into the playoffs, how are they going to be able to manage teams kind of just like leaving Lou Dort and not respect him as a 3-point shooter? And they had some moments, but they were able to get over the hump. KCP, now that he's now with the Nuggets, it just feels like he's been a guy that's always been able to shoot the basketball since I watched him in college. Like even before Jokic with the Pistons, KCP was a 3-and-D like supreme guy. And the last couple of years, it just doesn't have that same feeling. Um, there's probably a long list of guys I could just keep going, but those are some of the prominent ones. But I understand exactly what he means. Like it does feel like some guys, you know, can't shoot, but then you'll look and the statistic will say something else. Vice versa sometimes too. Like I remember watching the Cavs when they were, with LeBron and they were trying to take down the Warriors and they would sign shooters and they were like, okay, they got Kyle Korver. And then you would watch the playoffs and Kyle Korver can't throw a rock in water. It's like all of a sudden Kyle Korver can't make a shot when he's on LeBron's team. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen so many shooters team up with LeBron and the Cavs or so many different other teams, and like guys just cannot make shots. It's crazy how many sharpshooters in those moments just couldn't shoot at all.
I have a college one for you that came to mind. A seasoned vet, Kirk Risa,
Oh
who's
my
still in
gosh.
college, by the way.
Yeah. Arizona. Then he went to where was he on
Arizona.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, he's on Cincinnati right now. He was at Kentucky last year and was hurt, and was at West Virginia before that. But at Arizona, you saw how good of a shooter was. But I swear, he's been in college for forever. I know him as a shooter. I swear, whenever I watch him, he never makes any shots. Last one. I'm gonna keep this one anonymous because it came from a few different people and in various forms. But a few of our listeners are dealing with some anxiety and some feeling a little directionless, and they look up to you. And I think they're looking for some words on how you maybe deal with anxiety or maybe dealt with direction earlier in your life.
Yes. I think early in my life, I definitely did not deal with anxiety. It came abruptly. And I think I didn't I didn't even know I was dealing with it, but I understand where they are, and I would guess that these are 17 to 20-year-olds. And it's a conversation I have all the time with people in this age range. This is a dangerous age range because we all go through it where you're watching your peers, and it's getting worse with social media becoming bigger and bigger, but you're watching your peers and you feeling like you're supposed to have everything in order, but you don't. And the more people I talk to, especially successful people, the more people I meet, this is literally an inevitable thing that we all go through. Where you look around, you may be fresh out of high school, and your buddy may be getting married or engaged, and I feel like, damn, I need to have my wife. I need to have my career. You might not go to school right away. You watching all your friends go to school. It's like, what I'm gonna do? I'm failing. Everybody's passing me up. I need to catch up. Oh my gosh. And then you turn 30 and you realize you were a jackass for being so hard on yourself at 19. You're not supposed to have all of the answers fresh out of high school. You're not supposed to have everything figured out fresh out at 20. You can't even buy alcohol. But I was in the same boat. I remember graduating. I had friends go off to universities. I had friends having kids. I had friends getting engaged. Every single year, it felt like people were just moving on, and I was kind of stuck. And I just kept being so hard on myself. And yeah, it took me to get successful, and it took me to get older and closer to 30 to realize how hard I was being on myself. And if there was anything I could tell y'all, is to give yourself some leeway, not too much. Don't be a bum, but don't be so hard on yourself. The world is already going to beat you up. Things are hard enough as it is. Take it day by day and pat yourself on the back for small wins, 1% better each and every day.